Hey everybody! I hope y'all can hear me good. I have my earbuds in today. I forgot to use them yesterday. Sometimes there's a little bit of background noise in, in my house. I don't know how much the earbuds help. There are no children here right now, so that is a positive. But my dog is here and she goes crazy every time a neighbor walks by the front with their dog. She like goes ballistic. And she just lost her shit over the FedEx guy dropping something off at my door. So I'm glad that got dropped off before I came on here live because she went mental. So let me make sure we're live. I'll give you guys a minute to come on before I start saying the things. Okay, I can see Sarah likes my video, but I can't find my live video. I want to be able to look at the comments down here. Hi Sarah, I can see your comment on my phone. I'm just trying to, I want to pull up the video on my computer because the comments, they like scroll up on the phone. So if you're asking questions, I can't like go back and see them. I have to look down here. So let's do a little refresh while y'all come on. Sarah, I'm so stoked about the new offering you just created. Sarah is an alumni of Course Creatrix, and when you're an alumni of Course Creatrix, the 8-week course, you get to stay in the private mastermind forever. That's why Sarah, and you can come to all the pop-up trainings. So Sarah is here, and she got super inspired yesterday and created like a whole new offering. I love it. I love it. I love it when things click in and my students start doing the things. Okay, there's the live video. And then we have another alumni, Carlin, who's not on the pop-up training. But Carlin's course is like selling like crazy. Sarah, did you see that? She welcomed like 4 new people into her course today. So excited about that. I get so excited, you guys, like when my clients take my course and then they start making money from what I taught them how to do, and they make back what they paid for the course, and then they make like triple or quadruple what they paid for the course. It's like so cool to watch. And it happens so quickly too. Hi Aisha, it's good to see you here, Aisha. Aisha, I love, I just saw what you had posted and I really love your, the whole concept of like cybersecurity for solopreneurs is so like something that I don't even think about, and I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. So you create that course and you may have me in that as well because I need to learn. And that's such an important thing. Hey, Opal. So as people are coming on, I'm going to still give a few minutes. So just come on and say hi. Say hello. It's funny. I washed my hair yesterday because I knew that we were starting this training. And you guys, I like never wash my hair. I think I set a record yesterday. I think it was like 11 days without washing my hair. The girl who does my hair is like, she'll color it, and I always have like some kind of like, right now I've got the purple and blue at the ends. I had pink before, and she's like, your color never washes out because you don't ever wash your hair. I'm like the queen of dry shampoo. Anyway, I'm sure you all wanted to know that bit of useless information that I only wash my hair like 2 or 3 times a month. But it's just funny because I'm looking at myself in the video. I'm like, wow, my hair looks really clean. Oh yeah, that's because I washed it yesterday morning. All right, looks like people are starting to hop on. Sarah, yes, I'm offering the class for 2 weeks only. I know, and it's such a great class. Sarah's creating a class to teach families how to train their nannies. So Sarah also started a nanny agency with me. And she has created several courses in Course Creatrix. She created a potty training course. She has a daycare startup course. And Sarah is just like an ideas machine. So you guys, yesterday when I said to write down 10 or 20 things that you could possibly create a course out of, and to, what was the other assignment? Sorry, I'm having like I'm brain dead at the moment. And to write, to do that free writing exercise, the reason I want you to do that is I actually want you to be in the habit of doing that, because that is how we become what my mentor, Katrina Ruth, calls being an ideas machine. And what happens when you get into that practice of writing down, 10, 20, I say minimum 10, but as many as you can, random ideas off the top of your head that could be turned into something that you could sell. You're training the muscle inside, the muscle between your ears, your brain, to start creating ideas. And what happens when you get into that flow, I actually do this almost every day. Almost every morning I write down a list of things that I think could turn into potential offerings. What this does for you is then throughout the day, you've kind of trained your mind to look for money-making ideas. And how it works for me and a lot of my clients is someone will say something, you'll hear something on the radio, you'll be watching Netflix, something will like spark an idea and you'll just get this like rush of inspiration. And that's where a lot of my courses come from. I did a course in the last round of Creatrix. So I always create alongside of my students in the 8-week program. So the last round I created a course called Unfuckwithable. And that came to me because I heard someone say that word and I was like, oh my God, 4 years ago when I first got sober, my sponsor, I was crying to my sponsor about, you know, how everyone was judging me. And she said, you need to become unfuckwithable. And I had like this light bulb go on during the last round of Course Creatrix that like, I kind of am unfuckwithable now. Nothing can shake me. So I created this course and sold it and here we are. So anyways, I will get down to business because today we are going to be covering a lot of ground. So if you're here live and you're able to take notes, I would recommend that you get ready to take notes. This is going to be one that you may want to re-listen to and pause and write things down because I'm going to give you a lot of technical stuff today. Excuse me. I'm going to give you a lot of technical stuff today. And this is only a 3-day training, so I'm trying to give you everything in 3 days, and a lot of these things are things that I really deeply elaborate on and walk you through my 8-week program that's going to be starting on February 3rd. But in the free training, I don't have enough time to do that. So you'll be given information, and if you choose not to come into my 8-week training that's going to start next week and you want to do this on your own, you will want to have this information because you'll be Googling a lot of things, if that makes sense, because you won't have me to walk you through the steps. But like, obviously you're going to come into Course Creatrix next week because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to be walked through? And look at all the badass ladies in here. Okay, I digress. Yes, being an ideas machine is awesome. Yeah, so training yourself to come up with ideas is the most amazing thing and really puts you into the space of being able to be, you know, a course creator that can pull an idea out of thin air and make money out of it. It's so much fun. All right, so day 2. So day 1, yesterday, we went through some exercises to kind of determine what we were here to teach. If you're not clear on what you're here to teach yet, that is okay. The fact that you want to teach something means that you're supposed to teach something. I am a true believer that the desires that were put on our heart were put there for a reason. So if you were in this group, if you took the time to sign up for this training, that means that you're supposed to be teaching something. And if it's not there yet, you're not clear on it yet, just trust that it is coming. Hi, Jaquetta. Hi, Marjorie. So no worries if you're not sure yet. Excuse me, I'm like, got allergies or something today. Just continue with the exercise that I gave you yesterday. Write the things out. Just start thinking like, what am I here to teach? And a lot of you are very clear on what you're here to teach, and that is amazing. So we can, you know, move forward from there. So today I want to talk about who are you here to teach it to? And I think I said yesterday, I don't know if I went into detail about this yesterday, but I really don't like the whole idea that we have to niche down. I understand that niching is good and, you know, gets you focused, gets your message in front of the right people. But I also, on the flip side, kind of believe that you are the niche and that the people that are here, that are supposed to be learning from you and hearing from you are basically like you a few steps ago. So it's up to you what you decide to do with that. I have niched down before. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute, about a course that I did that with. But for the most part, with the courses that I create and sell, I'm creating them for myself like 4 or 5 years ago. I'm creating them for that woman 4 or 5 years ago who knew that that there was something better for her, wasn't sure what it was yet, needed and hoped to find someone who understood that and could vocalize that, and wanted to be in the vibration of someone who was a few steps ahead of them, who had had success. So that's my niche, if you will. And I just want to plant that idea into your head, that seed, that you are the niche, really. A lot of people spend a lot of time trying to figure out their niche when it's actually them. So you want to get into the mind of your ideal client when you're trying to determine who you are here to teach it to. Normally it's you a few steps back. Some questions to ask yourself are, what are their goals and dreams? What keeps them up at night? What do they wish was available? And where are they going? So like I said, it's typically you a few steps before. Those are going to be like your dream clients, the ones who are walking the path that you yourself walked. And in order to get into the head of this person, I'm going to give you another assignment, and I'll remind you about it at the end, because after I talk about this, we're going to go into some other things. But I'm going to want you to do a free writing assignment again, and I want you to just brain dump for like 10, 20 minutes about your dream clients. So you're going to basically write, and I'm going to share my client letter here for you guys. I do this exercise regularly, but I rewrote a letter to my ideal client that goes on all of my sales pages now, and I'll post it in here to show you guys what I'm talking about. So what I want you to do is to do 10, 20 minutes, get into a quiet area, put some like nice music on if you can, and just say, who am I here to teach? And then just write about the person that you would love to wake up and work with every single day. Write about them. What are their goals and dreams? What are their goals and dreams? What keeps them up at night? What do they wish was available? Where are they going? What do they need? What are they afraid of? And once you're done with that, you turn that into a letter to your ideal client. And that is really powerful for drawing in the right people that you want to work with. So when I started coaching, I was in a space of, I'll just work with anybody. And that didn't work out very well for me. I made money and I had clients, but I wasn't lit up by most of the clients that were coming in. So when you get really when you get really solid on who is your ideal client, who would you love to have 20 of in a group, then you write about that. Then we create a letter to your ideal client about that, to that person. So you're speaking directly to them. Then that ends up going out on social media, in emails, it's on your sales pages. You're speaking directly to that person. And I can say with confidence that all 42 of you who are in this course, this mini course, are my ideal clients. And I spoke directly to you. I show up as who I am. I'm not trying to show up as a different version of myself online. So when you came into this course, you had seen me talking online, you had seen what I was writing, and you resonated with that, because there are a million people out there who can teach you how to create courses, but the reason people decide to work with me is because they like my vibe. And it's easy for them to get my vibe because I'm speaking directly to the person that I want to come in. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Sarah, I even like to name my ideal client. Yeah, that's really fun too. Sarah has really taken off with this and is amazing at speaking directly to her ideal client. And this is just so important. It's the one thing that, it's basically the reason why I don't really have to pay for advertising, because I'm all over the interwebs, in all the free places, showing up as who I am and speaking to my ideal client. So I will remind you of that assignment later at the end of this training. But let me tell you a little, actually, I'm gonna give you a second. Cliffhanger. I have a really dry mouth today. I'm going to tell you about my biggest selling course to date. I kind of teased this yesterday. I told you that I would tell you more about it today. So the course that I have sold the most of to date has nothing to do with my regular coaching. It has nothing to do with my mindset stuff. It has nothing to do with really anything. It's a course about how to start a nanny agency. I consistently have sold this course out every quarter with a really tiny email list, and I want to tell you how I did it. And I told you that I've changed that up a little bit. I'm not doing it quarterly now. It's more of like an evergreen enrollment. But I've had great success selling this course to a list of it's still under 600 people. But I still sell the course out every time I open it, which is funny. So this is how I came to offer that course. So at the time that I decided to create the Nanny Agency Startup course, that's what it's called, I had been coaching for a few years, and I told my clients that I was coaching with, because a lot of them wanted to start businesses. They knew that I owned a nanny agency that I started when I was 22 years old. So I do own a nanny agency. The name of it is Bella Bambino Nannies, and I did start it when I was 22. I started it when I was 22 because I wanted to get pregnant. I had just gotten married. I got married very young the first time. And I didn't want to be working in a corporate job. I was at the time working full-time for Tony Hawk, who's a professional skateboarder. I was working for his skateboarding shoe company. And as much as I loved that industry, I knew that I wanted to be a mom, and I knew that I needed to have income because my husband at the time was a car salesman, and he did okay, but we needed two incomes. So I had been a nanny in college, and I decided to start a nanny agency. I felt like it would be easy enough, Of course, 20 years ago, we didn't have this. So I was, took a little more of a grind to get it going. But pretty quickly after I started that business, it took over my corporate income, and I was able to quit my actual job and just do the nanny agency. So fast forward to when I started coaching women, I would say, yeah, I have this nanny agency that I've owned for several years, and it's this online nationwide referral service. I don't really have to work more than like 5 hours a week on it. It's really easy, and it makes really good money. And so people started asking me, like, would you ever teach a class on how to do that? And here's the thing, you guys, in my mind, like, starting a nanny agency is like the easiest thing ever. Like, this is what I was thinking, why would they pay me to show them that? You can literally go online and figure it out. It's not that hard of a business to start. But I got asked that question enough that I was like, maybe the universe is trying to tell me something. So I did a little post in a business group. I think it was in the Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs Facebook group. And I just said, hi, I own a nanny agency. I've had it for 20 years. Does anybody want to learn how to create a nanny agency? I'm thinking about making a course. And overnight, I had like 50 people in my DMs that said, yes, we want to learn. So then I was like, this is weird. I'm really onto something. Okay, yeah, I can totally teach people how to do this. And, but I didn't know that anybody would want to learn that. Does that make sense? Like, I didn't know until I put it out there, and I was like, shit, this idea has legs. So what I did was like, the idea was planted. I ran the experiment, which was to put one post online somewhere, see if people were interested, and people were interested. So what I did from that point was I kind of, got their email addresses, and I told them, okay, I'll let you know, once I'm launching it. And then I was like in go mode. I was like, okay, there's like 50 people that want to learn this. I've got to figure out how much I'm going to charge and how I'm going to put this course together. So I did. I figured it out. I kept posting in different women in business groups. I asked if people were interested. I took it a step further, and I put $50 into a Facebook ad. And one of the things that I say to my clients in Course Creatrix is that $50 in 48 hours will tell you if your idea has legs. If you put $50 into a Facebook ad, and we get part of what I teach in Course Creatrix is how to get the right demographic, run your ad to the right people on Facebook. $50 in 48 hours will tell you if your idea has, like I said, legs. So I did that, and to my surprise, that Facebook ad brought in 100 more interested people. So at this point, I was like, okay, I've tested the idea. To my shock and surprise, a lot of people want to learn it. So what am I going to charge for it? How am I going to do this? And from that point, I, kind of figured out my own way of creating a course. It wasn't very efficient. Even the mentor that I was working with at the time, she was very successful, and she taught her courses live on Zoom. And she would launch every quarter. So that's kind of what I did is I started teaching. I got the people in. I created a little graphic in Canva. It was the worst graphic you've ever seen. I probably won't ever share it with you guys because it was so ugly, but it worked. And I started teaching clients. My first group of clients, I think 12 women signed up for the course. and I taught them over the course of 12 weeks. And during the time that I was teaching them, I would write each module like an hour before I would teach it to them live, because that's just how I am. I can't do anything like I can't do anything till the last minute. Don't ask me why. It's just the type of person I am. So I rolled with it. And then I continued teaching that course over and over and over again live, and completely burned myself out. So the reason I created Course Creatrix is because when I finally had the aha moment of like, why am I continuing to teach this live when I could just record it one time while I'm teaching it live, edit those videos, and then resell it over and over again, that changed everything for me. So I'm gonna give you the steps that work for me and that I teach in Course Creatrix, and you'll want to probably take notes. So hold on, I've got to just check my little bullet points here to make sure I don't tell you anything out of order. I do have there's somebody outside with a weed whacker. I do have a tendency to like go off on tangents. So let me just make sure that we are here. So you get the idea. You're going to want to test the idea. Testing the idea can be done by posting something on your personal Facebook page. Really? They got a weed whack right in front of my yard, not any of the other ones. I hope this isn't like cutting. I hope the noise isn't too bad for you guys. So you come up with the idea, you test the idea. I would at that same time create a graphic for the idea. You do not have to have professional photos for your graphics. I only got professional photos taken like last year. I used selfies and all kinds of other things for my graphics, but basically you want to use, I recommend using Canva. I like the paid version of Canva because you have different features like the background remover. It's like $10 a month. A lot of you probably already have it. If you don't, it's canva.com. There is a free version that you can start with to play around with fonts and things and just kind of like play around with what you think might, you know, inspire you or look good for a graphic for the thing that you're offering. And then include some kind of a photo of yourself. It doesn't have to be a professional one. God knows I've used all kinds of photos over the years, all kinds of photos. So test the idea, create a graphic. I do recommend setting aside about $50 if you want to really try it out. Set aside about $50 to run a Facebook ad just to test it. And then from that point, I recommend setting up a free account with MailChimp. So MailChimp is a really great email service that is super low cost, and it's really user friendly. I actually miss MailChimp a lot. I switched over to Kajabi last year because that's where I host all my courses, and it was like, you know, made more sense to move everything there. But MailChimp, I miss it. It's so easy to create and automate on MailChimp, and all the other platforms I've tried to use are so difficult. So I recommend setting up a MailChimp account, and you run your Facebook ad or any of the leads that you get. Like, you're gonna create a separate email list in MailChimp for that group. So if your course is called like, I don't know, Susie's knitting class, you go into MailChimp and you create a new audience called Susie's knitting class. And then from there, you create in MailChimp, it's pretty easy to do, an automation. So you set it up so that every time somebody signs in to that MailChimp list, which you're gonna be, you know, providing a link to people for, then they automatically get emailed. Like, as soon as they sign into your email list, or as soon as you add them to your email list, boom, they get an automation from you that says, thanks for signing up to learn more about Susie's knitting class. I'd love to speak with you about what I'm offering when you have a moment. So this is the way that I built my course creation to the level that it's at now. I had an automated email that would go straight to the people as soon as they opted into my thing, and it would send them a calendar link to book a 15-minute call with me. And I actually don't do that as much anymore. Now instead of doing sales calls, I do more things like this, which I also teach you how to do in Course Creatrix. I mean, it's not hard to figure out. I opened up a pop-up group and I invited people in. But it is really powerful to allow people to one-on-one talk with you as well. I wouldn't book longer than 15, 20 minutes, because then you get into the point where people are just wasting your time trying to get as much out of you as they can for free. I would do a quick and easy sales call. I use a calendar called You Can Book Me. It's youcanbookme.com, and that links up to my Google Calendar. So the way that it works is somebody opts into either an ad that I'm running or a sales page that I've created, and you can create those in MailChimp as well. I use lead pages also, but you can create a landing page or a sales page in MailChimp. So they opt into what you've put out there. So if you're in a group and you're like, hey, I'm thinking of creating a course to do blah, blah, blah. If you want to learn more about it, click here. It goes to the sales page or landing page that you've created in MailChimp. They click, yes, I want to know more, and then it asks for their email address, and then they're automatically on your email list, and then they automatically get an email right away offering to book a call with you. And so I like to use a calendar system called You Can Book Me for that, but you can also have people just email you back to set up a call. And then from that point, I would get on the phone with people and tell them about the course. And in that case, it was the Nanny Agency Startup course. I did so many sales calls with that course. And what I have found is that the conversion rate for selling a course is actually a lot higher if I get on the phone with people. But the reason I'm not doing the sales calls anymore is because personally, I feel like it's a little bit of a drain on my energy, and I like to do things that keep me pumped up. So I really enjoy these pop-up groups. So now when someone's interested in something that I'm offering, instead of offering a sales call right away, I'll invite them into something like this. Oh, Marjorie, yes, you were in that first group of the nanny course. Marjorie was one of the first, the OGs. Oh my God, I forgot, Marjorie. She was or no, you weren't in it. No, you did not sign up for it. You signed up for Creatrix, sorry. But you were one of the first people I interviewed. You were one of the first calls. So Marjorie Brown, this is a cool story, you guys. So Marjorie Brown, who's on here, I met Marjorie. Marjorie's one of the ladies who saw my original post with that awful graphic on the Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs page. It said, I'm offering a course to start a nanny agency. So Marjorie opted into that and got on a call with me, and she ended up so Marjorie ended up not taking the nanny course, but Marjorie has followed me, on the interwebs for a few years since then, and when I offered Course Creatrix, she came into that. So you can see how it's kind of all interconnected. Marsha Ibe Grover was in the nanny course. She was in the first round. Oh, you guys are bringing back so many memories. And then Marsha ended up taking Creatrix too. But so my students here who have been with me for a while can tell you that, yeah, I used to get on the phone with people, and the conversion rate when I'm on the phone with somebody is really good. If I get you on the phone and you have any interest in starting a nanny agency, chances are you're gonna be giving me money before the end of the call, because I know what I'm talking about, and I'm funny, and I make you feel at ease, and it's great. I stopped doing that because in order for me to grow my business to the place that I want to grow it to, my energy has to be really good. And if I'm having to get on phone call after phone call after phone call during a time that I'm launching a course, and I'm single parenting my 4 children, 2 of whom are teenagers and 1 of whom has severe autism, I'm like in fight or flight. I'm like, oh, I gotta do all these calls, so it jacks my vibe, and it doesn't allow me to show up as this like happy, enthusiastic version of myself. So I ditched him. But I would say at the beginning, for all of you, I would recommend doing a few sales calls to just kind of see what it's like. Or you can jump straight into like this, or I've done webinars, I've done all kinds of things to get people into my work. But basically, you want to give people, whether you're doing a sales call or something like this, you want to give people a flavor of what it's like to work with you. There are so many people online offering so many things, and there are so many people who are afraid that they're going to be scammed, or that, how can I trust that this person won't just take my money and run? So it's a really good idea too, if you're gonna do something like this, like a Facebook group thing like this, that you do it for a couple of days. I love doing these 3-day things, and then I keep the group open for a few more days, and then the people can decide if they want to come in and work with me longer. But by the time that I make you the offer to come into my thing, you've already spent 3 full days with me, and probably a couple of more days just going back and forth answering questions. So I'm legit, how available I make myself. all the things. So yeah, I got off on a tangent there, but yes. So the process that I use is create a graphic. So I get the idea, I create a graphic, I test the idea online, either using a Facebook ad or just banging the drum all over the internet, wherever I can. I collect info from people who are interested, which is in the form of getting them to click into an opt-in that I use to create in MailChimp, which is really easy. It's something that we teach in Creatrix, and that's the most cost-effective way to do it. And then once the course is full, that's when you start teaching. One thing that I wanted to say to you is, if you are going to do, if you sit with this and think that you want to launch your course the way that I'm doing mine with a Facebook group, be prepared to offer a ton of value and access to you in the group. That is one of the main reasons people choose to work with me over whoever else that's offering this. There's a lot of people offering course creation classes. And this will set you apart too. I don't care what industry you're in. If you offer a lot of value, like I'm telling you everything I know, you can take this free training and you can do it on your own. It might take you longer than it would if you jumped into my 8-week course, but you can keep these videos, you can go back, you can watch them. You want to offer a ton of value and a ton of access to you when you're doing this. When you're trying to, get people in, you want them to know the level that you're available. So for me, I could have 150 clients across all of my courses, and I'm still really available for them. I may not answer every message the second that it comes in because someone else is sending one in at the same time, but I will jump back on, Messenger with a voice clip and say, hey, I looked at it, this is what I think, and then we'll go back and forth. People know when they work with me that they can always get a hold of me, that if they don't hear from me right away, that within 24 hours, they will have an answer to their question. And that is really valuable. You can also offer, when you sell your course, you can kind of split it into 2 categories. I do this with the nanny course, where there's like a standard level where people have access to me only in a Facebook group, and then a VIP level where they get a link that they can use to book a one-on-one call with me. And then I use that You Can Book Me calendar. I've got some VIPs right now in a couple courses that have that. And so every Thursday, if they want, they can book a call with me and we can jump on for 20 minutes and break it down. And for the VIP thing, you can charge more, and you can charge, a different level for the standard, however you want to do it. But the most important thing to do, regardless of how you decide to offer your course, I can't make this point more strongly. I can't make it strong enough. Here it goes. Are you ready? Make it easy for people to pay you. Make it easy for people to pay you. That is the most important thing. If someone says, I'm interested in your course, don't say, okay, I'll get back to you tomorrow with how to pay. No. You send them a payment link right then and there. You send them a link right then and there. You collect the money right away or as soon as you can. When someone says they're interested in your thing and they're ready to jump in, let them pay you. So I can't tell you the reason I'm laughing about this. Folks who aren't expecting to be VIPs. I'll look at that in a minute, Sarah, and I'll answer questions once I get through my tangent here. I can't tell you how many women I've worked with who have these amazing courses that freak out completely and have like a total mindset block when it comes to people paying them. They're like, oh yeah, I'm so excited. 3 people want to come in. I'm like, awesome. Did you send them payment links? No, I'm busy with my kids, but I'll do it later. Why the fuck wouldn't you send them a payment link right away? Hello. It's very easy to do on PayPal. If you have a business PayPal account, which is very easy to set up, you can pre-create your links, which is something that I teach you how to do in Course Creatrix. But for those of you, just to give you a quick breakdown of how it goes, you create a business PayPal account, you go into pay and get paid, and then you go into payment buttons. And you're gonna have 2 different payment buttons for your course. You're gonna have a pay in full, and you're gonna have a payment plan. And the pay in full is called Buy Now in PayPal buttons, and the payment plan is called Subscription. So you're gonna have those two buttons. And what I do is I save the URLs for those two things in the notes of my phone. So if I am at, you know, the beach with my kids and somebody says, hold on, I'll answer that in a second, Marsha. And somebody sends me a message and says, I'm ready to come into Course Creatrix. How do I pay? I'm not going to say, go back to the sales page and find the payment link and then pay me, because then that gives people time to like not pay you. I'm going to go into the notes on my phone, copy the button, say they want to do the 6-month payment plan. So I'm going to copy that button and I'm going to text it to them and they can pay right then and there. Okay, so Sarah said, I'm so passionate about that because I had such a hard time accepting money for my coaching work for such a long time, even though I had been an entrepreneur for a long time and I was used to people paying me. When it came to doing this work for taking money in exchange for my knowledge, it was really hard for me. And it's something that I see the vast majority of my clients struggle with. And so I try to get it into your head as early as possible. Don't make excuses when somebody wants to come into your thing. Don't say, oh, just go to the sales page and get the payment link. No, have the payment link on you and send it to them right then and there, whether it's on Facebook Messenger, email, text, whatever. You have no excuse. You can get the money right then and there. Okay, so let me look through this. I have struggled with that. A lot of people struggle with it a lot. Sarah, you know, we go through in the longer Course Creatrix class, we spend quite a bit of time on this, and I actually do quite a bit of one-on-one work with the students in Course Creatrix around this because everybody has their own struggle. And there's no judgment there. It's just something we have to grow through. Okay, folks who aren't folks expecting, yeah, Sarah, so at the beginning, when you don't have strong energetic boundaries, you will have clients that sign up for your standard thing and want to be treated like a VIP, and then that's up to you to put parameters around that. It took me forever to do that because I just want to give everyone everything, and then there's no point in having a VIP. So you have to just create strong energetic boundaries around that. We can talk about that, Sarah. Sarah has VIP status with me, so we can do a one-on-one call around that if you need help. That's why figuring out a landing page is the first thing. Yeah, landing page is important, but not as important as you showing up and banging the drum. And Sarah, you're really good at that. Sarah shows up every single day and goes live and tells people what she's offering and how they can work with her, and then gives them a link to her landing page, and she's got it down. But you don't have to have a landing page. I didn't have a landing page when I first launched the Nanny Agency Startup Course. I was just running ads, talking to people on the phone, and sending them payment links. You can do it either way. Having a landing page makes you look more legit. It looks more like a website. By the way, I still don't have a website for my coaching business, and I don't think I ever will. I just create different landing pages. So don't think that you need a website either. Let's see. Marsha, yeah, add the payment link directly on the sales page. Yeah, so on your sales page, you can put like, pay now, pay in full, payment plan. Hold on, let me get back. So yeah, you want to make it easy for people to pay you. Make it easy for people to pay you. Don't give someone the runaround if they're offering you to pay and get in your course. Don't say like, okay, let me text you later when I'm home. I'm in the grocery store with my kids. No. You send them the link right then and there. And you have no excuse not to, because I've literally done it. I have a son who's autistic that's really hard to deal with when we're out in public. He has a little brother who's got ADHD, and I've got 2 freaking 17-year-olds who drive me nuts. So like if I allowed that to be an excuse, like, oh, I'm busy, I can't send the payment link right now, I would never freaking get paid. I wouldn't be making $15,000 a month in recurring income from my coaching, because I just wouldn't. So that's why I say make it so let me go through these comments before we jump back into what I'm talking about. Yes, Marsha, save it on your cell, girl. You know how we do. So Marsha, you know how to create the PayPal buttons because you've been through Course Creatrix. If you have an iPhone, there's an app called Notes, and I usually just drop the links in there. So, because sometimes people are not going to buy from your sales page. In fact, the fact is most people won't buy because of your sales page. Most people are going to buy from you because of this one-on-one interaction like what I'm doing now, or because they're seeing you go live, or they read something and one little word or phrase strikes a chord with them. Then they might click on your sales page, but if they do, they're just gonna like scroll down to the bottom and hit the payment button anyway. So most people don't read your sales page. I know that's hard to take because a lot of us put a lot of effort into our sales pages, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you're speaking, like I said before, directly to your ideal client, who is typically you a few years back. Okay, I've got to catch up on these comments. Chiquetta, oh no, you have a call, but that's okay. Just watch the playback, Chiquetta, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so where was I after I went off on a rant about getting paid? You guys, it just drives me crazy. I'm sorry. I just want to see you all making money and being successful. Some people just don't want to read through. I'm telling you, how many of you guys read an entire sales page when you decide to take something? Usually if I'm on somebody's sales page, it's because I already know I want to work with them. So I just go to the bottom and pay. I mean, that's just how it is. There are people that will read them though. We don't want to like skimp out on sales pages, but we also don't want to make them like the entire world, you know, like, oh my God, my sales page has to be epic, because most people aren't going to read it. But what they are going to pay attention to is how you show up and promote your business, and how you show up authentically as yourself. People like authenticity, and how confident you are. And that's what's going to cause them to want to buy from you. And also the thing that you're teaching, obviously, they need to know. I know, Marcia, but I couldn't stop you. Marcia says, I spent 2 months agonizing over my sales page. I'm so OCD. I know. And I'm not here to tell people how to, I'm not here to like make you do it my way. My clients have, I hope I'm still here. My Wi-Fi just went wonky. Can somebody give me like a thumbs up if I'm still here? My Wi-Fi just like told me that I wasn't here anymore, but it says I'm still live. So yeah, hopefully you guys can still hear me. So yeah, Marcia, okay, good. Don't be me. I'm sorry. Yeah, I fucking love my clients. You guys, those of you who are in here, there's probably, what is going on with my phone? There's probably 4 women in here that are already course Creatrix students that are just in here because they wanted to come in and like join. It's Marcia. Marcia says, don't be me. Oh God, it's so funny. It's so funny. But you know what, Marcia, that's how we learn. Nobody could have told me either. You have to figure out your own way. I'm gonna show you the fastest point from A to B. And for me, A is creating, coming up with an idea, and B is getting paid. Like all the stuff that's in between, like if you want to spend 1,000,000 years on it, you can. But I'm going to show you how to get paid fast. That's my job. That's what I want to do. All right, so enough with the payment thing. I think I've made my point. Cool, I like that they're here. Yeah, Catherine, you know what? Like my clients, a lot of these women have taken a lot of my things. I have I'm going to cry when I think about it. I have the most fun, amazing group of clients that show up. They want to come do the free stuff because they know that in this like ranting and raving that I end up doing, like there's always something new. So even though they've taken this course and they're about to jump in the next round and create something new, I don't want to say I'm a loose cannon or anything, but like I do tend to go off of these rants, and a lot of times it will flick a switch for somebody. So once people kind of come into my groups, then they tend to want to come to the free stuff too. Because there's always something new there. I don't script any of this. I do have an outline to keep me sort of on track, but I do allow the madness and the mayhem and the preaching and the weirdness to flow through, because that's where the gold is. So yeah, it's fun. We just follow you ever. I know, I love it. I love my stalker clients. You guys are the best kind of stalkers. All right, let's get back to business here. So you offer a pay in full or monthly payments. If you're doing monthly payments, I charge a little more. So if I'm charging, like $1,500 pay in full for something, then for the monthly payments, I might up it to $1,600 and then divide it into 6-month payments. You're allowed to charge more for financing your people. If they choose to take your payment plan, they should pay a financing fee. That's just how it is. So I always add about 100 or so, when I'm doing a 6-month payment plan. So here is another really important thing, and I did touch on this earlier, but teach your course. So the first time you launch it, like I did with the Nanny Agency Startup course, and beautiful Marcia Ibe Grover was in that course so long ago. I was such a baby then. When you teach your course the first time, save yourself some heartache. Save yourself the trauma that I went through of having to teach the same damn course on repeat a million times to a new live group of people, to where you're just like, oh my God, if I have to teach this again, I'm gonna lose my mind. Just record it on Zoom. Like the first time you teach it, record it on Zoom. The Nanny Agency Startup course was recorded on Zoom with a live group. So there's actually banter back and forth between me and the clients on there. And I still use those videos to this day. It's like 2 years ago that it was recorded. Now, whenever I create something new, I either record it live and, you know, save the videos in Zoom and then edit little bits and pieces out of them as needed. And then I save those. So those are the modules. So for example, with Unfuckwithable, which we're on module 6 now, freaking decades ago, we were babies, Marsha. We were little fetuses when this happened. Look at me now. Look at you now. Look at us now. Oh God. So like the best example right now is I'm leading a course called Unfuckwithable, and I'm delivering module 6 in that course this week. And the way that I did that course was the first 2 modules, I decided to pre-record them and deliver them into the Facebook group. So module 1, they got in the Facebook group. I had pre-recorded it alone on Zoom with slides. Module 2 was the same thing. I decided to pre-record that, save it, put it in the Facebook group. So for module 3, I was like, I don't want to pre-record this. I want to teach it live, but I don't want to teach it live on a Zoom call where people can talk back to me. I just want to teach it live in the Facebook group where I can read the comments. So that's what I did for module 3 of that. I delivered it in Facebook live. Some people showed up, some people couldn't make it, but they had comments and I was doing like what I'm doing here. And in that case, module 3 for Unfuckwithable, I pulled off of Facebook and I saved it because that's going to be module 3 when I relaunch it. Module 4, I taught live in a Facebook group again because that just felt good. So I did the same thing. So now in module 6, I don't know what I'm going to do. Module 6 is being delivered on Thursday. And however I do it, it's going to be recorded because I'm never going to teach Unfuckwithable live again. I'm teaching it one time live. I'm teaching it however it feels right the day that I want to teach it. If it's pre-recorded or if it's live in a Facebook group, whatever. It might be a live Q&A where people can come on Zoom and we talk, but either way, I'm teaching it one time and I'm never teaching it live again. So when I relaunch Unfuckwithable in a month or 2, whenever I decide to launch it again, I'm just going to bang the drum around it. I'm going to get people in and they're going to watch each week the videos that I've already pre-recorded. And then they'll have the added layer of me coming into the Facebook group and hosting a live, probably Zoom roundtable Q&A around each topic. So I don't ever have to teach that shit again. So I taught it once, and then I get to do the fun part of allowing them to watch it on their own time. And then I say, okay, Thursday at 4 o'clock, here's the Zoom link. I'll stream it live in Facebook too if you can't come on Zoom, but let's get together and discuss. Let's go over the homework. Let's chat with each other. So then my job is to never have to teach it again. I just have to show up and, you know, kind of be the ringleader and mastermind with them. And I do that with Course Creatrix. Course Creatrix was created one time. It was recorded one time. I did it, a couple of them live. I did a couple of them pre-recorded. There's 8 modules. And then, so when people come into Course Creatrix, I show up weekly for a Zoom call. So they're watching the modules and then we come together weekly live for a Q&A. And so that's how it works. I hope that this is making sense to you guys. It's one of those things that if you haven't done it, you may start doing it and then go, oh, now I understand what Rebecca was saying. So just soak this in. Any videos that need editing, I am not a good video editor, but I will pull things off of Facebook. Like this 3-day training is going to become a free offering. So I'll pull these off and I'll edit some of the little parts out. I use iMovie. It's really easy to use. And then I will save these videos from yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and that will become in the future either a bonus training or a free opt-in to build my email list. So you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna record everything, and yes, Catherine, record it. We've got so many comments coming through. So yeah, so that's like the way that I've found that just keeps me in the good energy, because I like showing up and interacting with my people. I don't like showing up and reading off a training that I've taught 8 million times before. Why would you do that when you can pre-record it? So then, you know, basically, if you go through those steps and you get the course taught once, you can then promote every quarter if you want. I feel like that's a good starting point, or every 6 weeks or whatever. You promote the course and you fill it up and you just rinse and repeat. Clients will then take themselves through the modules. Like with me, some of my courses, they get a module every other week. Sometimes they get a module every week. Some of my courses, I'm live doing Zoom calls with them, Q&A style, once a week or every other week. It just depends on which course it is. But you commit to hosting that, and then I end up showing up way more than that, over delivering, as you can tell, you know, as you can see, like with the clients on here, like they know that I give so much that they'll come to like everything I do. It's so much fun, you guys. I love all of you. So yeah, so then you're basically setting yourself up to, your job is then to show up in a Facebook group and answer questions, and then you can over deliver, because you're going to want to show up more, because you're going to have super cool clients like I do who are so much fun to hang out with, and you just want to get on and talk to them more. And then you get the reputation for over delivering, like, oh my God, Rebecca, I took her course and it was supposed to be 8 modules and like 6 live calls, and she showed up like every other day with new things and more information, and she answered all of my direct messages, and she even did a one-on-one call with me. And you know, so you're able to like massively over deliver in a way that provides way more value than any other coach that they probably worked with. I hear this from a lot of people, that I'm the most available coach they've ever worked with. And I learned this from my mentor, Katrina Ruth. I don't know if any of you are following her, but she does she's an 8-figure business now. And she still takes the time to, you know, be involved one-on-one with her clients. And that's what I really like about her. And I've kind of modeled myself after, she's who I learned from how to do it this way, basically. And I love it. So that's kind of all the tech things in a nutshell. Canva, MailChimp, automation on the MailChimp page, setting up a landing page in MailChimp. I recommend MailChimp because it's super cheap and it's got everything you need. You can create a landing page, a sales page, you can create separate email lists, you can set up automations, you can do all kinds of things in there for like under, I don't know what the cheapest version is. I know last time I used it, I was paying $39.99 a month, but I had quite a few people in my mailing list. I think when you start out, it's like, I want to say it's like under $20 a month, and you can have all of those things available to you. And then just bang the drum around the offer, deliver it, record it, re-deliver it, relaunch it, rinse and repeat, build your income. So that's the way it works. So with me, my income is, a lot of times people will jump into a 6-month payment plan. Some people pay in full. There are people who pay in full for your offering, and that's really cool when that happens. But I would say most people take a 6-month payment plan option. So what happens then is that I've got a bunch of people on $200-$300 payment plans for 6 months at a time. And then I launch something else, and then I get more people on $200 or $300 payment plans for 6 months at a time, and more and more and more. And so what happens is, the more you launch, the more your income grows. And that's how I've been able to pretty consistently stay between like $12,000 and $15,000 a month, because I continually launch. So as I told you guys before, I'm gonna have to double that because I've got a really big dream and a really big goal that's gonna require a lot more money. So I'm gonna be selling my little heart out all year, but that's the way you do it. And it's pretty simple and easy once you get to it. Sarah, and if you guys have questions, please show me the way. You'll have to come into Creatrix when we start next week, Catherine. We would love to have you in. And I'll make you guys an offer for that tomorrow. I'm not gonna push sales on anyone right now. I wanna give, and then you guys will have a special offer, special pricing to join us in the 8-week course that will be starting on February 3rd, and I'll give you that tomorrow. So right now, if you have questions, feel free to ask them. Sarah says, do you recommend we all join the Women Supporting Women Entrepreneurs? Yeah, I like that Facebook group. There's like 500,000 people in there, and they have a standout membership that's like $99 a month that allows you to do a live stream every week, which I don't usually do them every week, but I probably will start doing them every week, and it allows you to post promotional posts in there. So it's, you know, in terms of like bang for your buck, you've got 500,000 female entrepreneurs in that group. And if you pay the $99 a month, Christina, who is the owner of that group, the moderator, will allow you to promotional post. Now, I've only been a paid standout member there for a couple of months, but I still got a lot of business from that group before I paid. What I would do is just go in and engage. I just start talking to people. Like when somebody posts something and, you know, you post something funny back and you start chatting and they friend request you. And then usually on my personal page, the cover photo is whatever I'm launching. So they're like, oh, what's that about? Or whatever. So I've gotten a lot of clients from that group before I paid for it. But I would say for $99 a month, if you're gonna take advantage of the lives and the promo posts that you can do, it is worth it. It is very worth it. Lots and lots of clients on there. For our friend who, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, I wanna go back. One of the ladies in here wants to create a course on cybersecurity for solopreneurs. Something like that would probably go like gangbusters in a group like that. Actually, you know, any of the stuff, Sarah, your daycare agency, like when people post like, what can I do from home that's not an MLM that makes money, you could swoop right in and be like, check this out. Do you like kids? I can show you how to create an in-home daycare. You know, you've just got to be creative. And it's like that in every group. Like not every group is going to allow you to post your promotions. You just get in there and make connections and answer questions and get to know people, and your thing will naturally sell that way too. Okay, any other questions? Aisha, thanks. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I couldn't remember your name for a second, Aisha. Yeah, Aisha is the one who wants to create the course on cybersecurity. Yeah, just check out the group. Just go become a member. Like just request, you know, just follow the group or whatever. And then you'll start to see notifications of people posting. People are posting in there all the time, asking questions. And if you have the answer to that question, then you just in a comment say, can I DM you? I have some info for you. It's a really great group to just kind of go fishing for clients. It's how I filled the nanny agency startup course years ago. And I was not a paid member then. So I was just chatting with people and letting them know what I had available. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap this up. Whew, I'm going for a full hour here. So I want you to spend some time tonight or whenever you can, just free writing about your dream client. Just free write. Just who is your dream client? Who would you love to wake up and serve all day, every day, and it wouldn't feel like work and you would know exactly how to help them? Like, who would that be? Like I said, it's typically you in the past. Write about that person. And then start to, you know, once you've written about that person and you know who they are, I would say bonus points for writing a letter to that person and posting it in our group. So I'll start a thread in our pop-up group and I will, you know, do day 2 homework thread and I'll put this in there. And then in the comments, I will drop the letter that I have written to my ideal client that goes on all of my sales pages. And what will probably happen is that all of you will go, oh my God, that's totally me. You're writing that to me. Because I got clear on my ideal client and then I wrote this letter. And because I operate from that standpoint and that place of serving this particular type of woman, that is who shows up for my work. And here you guys all are. So I will create a thread for the homework. I'll drop that letter, read my letter to my ideal client, and you'll see what I'm saying. Every time I post it in one of these groups, it's funny. Everybody's like, oh my God, that's totally me. Even if you haven't seen the letter on any of my sales pages, that letter came from my soul. And when I come online to teach or promote, that's who I'm talking to. And the magic of the universe is that that's who comes then and plants themselves in front of me. And this is how we create businesses that don't ever feel like work. All right, guys, I'm gonna stop talking. I will check back in here. What time is it? 2. I'm gonna take a little break. I've been at it all day, so I'm gonna take my dog for a walk, go get my kids, do some things, and I will be back on here later. So if you missed this live stream and you have questions, put them in the comments below. I will be happy to jump on and answer them later. And I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of the day.